gentlemen, my name is Peter Kaplowski. Welcome to the Toronto International Film Festival and the penultimate Midnight Madness screening. It may not be midnight, but it's going to become midnight in a few minutes when you guys see the scariest movie at the festival. The film's so scary that it almost clinched the Audience Choice Award. It came in second place. Its only mistake was it did not have a 40-minute climax involving samurai swords and decapitated heads. But it's a really, really special movie by a guy named Mike Flanagan, who I think we're all going to hear a lot more of. His last film, Absentia, was also a really great underground horror movie. And this is a massive step up. What I think is interesting about this director is how classical his style is and how interested in structure he is. This is a movie that takes place in different phases of time, and he does it simultaneously, and he sort of cross-cuts simultaneously between two moments. And I'm just amazed at how easily he does so, and how effortlessly he's able to get the audience to be invested in those two moments in time. It's a spooky movie about mirrors, which is also kind of cool because we live with mirrors all the time. So now you're going to be terrified of just going into your washroom. I don't have to say anything with the Black Boys People's Choice Award because that's it all over with. Let's just thank Intrepid Pictures for providing us with this film, and let's get ready to get scared on the last day of TIFF. Oculus.
Hi guys. Okay, so this is my review of Oculus, which was my final film of the festival, and I'm really, really glad that this movie closed the festival for me, because I've only seen 2 films by this guy. The director's name is Mike Flanagan. He's an American guy, and I've only seen 2 films by him, but I'm looking forward to seeing many more from him because he's a really great director, and he really knows how to do horror, thriller, suspense movies. Now, having said that, I did not like this movie as much as I liked his first movie called Absentia. That was a friggin' awesome movie, and I'm going to highly, highly recommend it to all of you out there. You have to see it. It's so, so good. The atmosphere, the mood, the story, the music, everything about it was just perfect, like picture perfect. This one was good. It was very scary, definitely very creepy movie. The mirror in this movie. Okay, so the movie is about this evil mirror that apparently everybody who comes in contact with this mirror, who owns this mirror, ends up dying in very, very horrific circumstances. And this mirror looks like, I mean, right out of friggin' Castle Dracula or the evil castle in Snow White or something. It's just a huge mirror with this like curvy wooden frame that's an antique mirror. It's scary. Okay, so anyway, so the movie is about these 2 siblings, a sister and a brother, and when they were kids, when the girl was, I think, maybe like 10 and the boy was maybe 8 or 9, their parents moved into this new house, and the father bought this antique mirror for his office. And at first, they're like, when they first move in there, they're a very happy family, parents, in love, they're getting it on, and everything is peachy keen. But it soon happens that stuff starts happening. Like the father starts spending all this time in his office. The mother starts getting paranoid that he's having an affair, and things keep going like things keep getting worse and worse between them. They're fighting, they're screaming, and the kids are hearing this in their rooms. And, the family is just becoming extremely dysfunctional and crazy. The house is crazy, all this stuff going on. And eventually the mother just goes total batshit. She just becomes like a total lunatic. And so, anyway, there were like so many scenes in this movie that just had me like really on the edge of my seat. Like, this guy really, really knows how to creep you out. Honestly, there was what was I going to say? Damn it! Hold on a sec. Okay, sorry. I just had to gather my thoughts. My mind went blank for a second there. Okay, there were like so many scenes in this movie that just were so creepy. Like, there's this woman who appears, and she has like these white eyes that are just like, and it's in the dark, and you see this woman standing there like just appearing out of nowhere, and it's just like, oh my god, like, I mean, you would freak if you saw this. And so really, really scary. The guy knows how to really, really create a mood. Him this guy, Mike Flanagan, and James Wan are my two like current favorite horror directors. Although I was watching a review from a guy the other day, a horror fan, who said that he heard that James Wan, he's the guy who did the Saw movie, the first Saw movie. I don't know if he did 2. I know he did number 1. And he did Insidious 1 and 2. 2 just came out. I have to see that maybe this weekend with my daughter. She wants me to take her. And The Conjuring. And this guy is like, him and James Wan like are really, really good at doing horror. Oh yeah, where was I going? This guy said that he heard James Wan is going to be doing the next Fast and Furious movie, which is like, oh my God. You know, so hopefully he won't abandon horror and just go for the quick check and do Hollywood crap like that. Anyway, these two guys, like, they are really, really good. They're just naturals at being able to do like suspense thriller type movies. Okay, so that's what happens to the kids at the beginning of the movie. Like, all this family deteriorates, everything goes crazy batshit, and the husband ends up killing the wife and trying to kill the kids, but they escape. And the boy ends up getting sent to a mental hospital, and the girl gets sent to a foster home. Because, yeah, the boy ends up killing the father, so he gets sent to the mental hospital. She gets sent off to a foster home. And he's in there for 10 years or something, I guess, till he's 18, and he gets released, and then they get reunited. And then the sister, she works for this auction house, and she manages to get her hands on this mirror again. And she wants to bring this mirror back to the house and destroy it once and for all. And she's got all these intricate cameras set up and all this stuff. I'm not going to go into, you know, believe me, I'm not going to spoil it for anybody and go into all the details about the stuff that she does and what happens in the house when they get the mirror back there and go back to the house. But, you know, there's a lot of flashbacks, a lot of flash forwards, and it was too excessive. It was too much. If he would have toned that down a little bit, I think this movie would have worked a lot better. But I found it really confusing. Like, you're never sure what's a hallucination and what's real. It's really difficult to follow. There's too much going on. I give him points for, you know, really going out of his way to provide so much detail and all that. But it was just too confusing. Still very scary in parts, very suspenseful, but I think that worked against the movie. And made it less effective. And oh yeah, one scene that I really did like though, when they went back to the house, when they're grown up, was she was starting to go through like the history of this mirror, and it had been like they had been traced back to like 17 something or other, and she went through all these owners. It was called the Lasser Glass. That's what they call it. It had a creepy name too. It was called the Lasser Glass, this mirror. And she went through like all the previous owners and how they had all died in these really weird, horrific circumstances. And I really liked that part. That was really cool. You know, talking about the history of this mirror and what had happened to the people who'd owned it. So, yeah, like there were parts of this movie that were really, really good, but it was just too much, too excessive. Too much detail, and the flashbacks and the flash forwards were just really difficult to follow, you know. But definitely, you know, very creepy, and I will really, really be looking forward to anything this guy does, because he really knows how to build a mood and atmosphere and all that, and create suspense and everything. And also, again, the music in this movie was also really, really good. The same thing for Absentia. The music that he used in that was perfect, like for setting up the sort of creepy, you know, weird mood of the movie. And this one was the same, no exception here. And one other thing I noticed, it was the same in Absentia. He seems to be liking to explore this theme where, in Absentia, I'm not going to go into the details about what that's about. I should just do a separate review on that, because I love that movie so much. But one of the girls in that movie was seeing a psychiatrist to deal with some stuff she was going through, and he's like, well, when something really terrible happens to us and you can't process it, your mind makes up all these random things and fixates on certain things to kind of explain things to you, or you know, make it right in your mind. And it was the same thing in this movie. Even almost, I think those exact words were used in this movie. So he seems to like to explore that kind of a situation and that kind of a dynamic that's going on, and that's really cool. I like that. So overall, I would give this movie a thumbs up. I would recommend it because it is very creepy and very scary, and it's a very high quality film. But I liked his first movie, Absentia, better. And you know, if it weren't for all the extraordinary amount of detail and confusing, you know, time stuff going on, yeah, it would have been as good. But too much, a little bit too much. But still, very good. I enjoyed it, and I thought it was a great movie to end the festival with. So thank you, Mike Flanagan. Okay, so that is it for another year. I can't believe it's over already. It went by so fast. But, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed these reviews. You know, I'll be back next year with more, definitely. Okay, thanks for watching, you guys. Bye-bye.